Hi, everyone. How are you? How's it going? Are you good? What's going on? Okay, so full disclosure, I wasn't going to put out an episode this week because, the energy is heavy. It feels ominous. It feels apocalyptic. It's very anxiety inducing. It's just heavy, heavy, heavy. But then I started thinking about it and, you never want to make light of situations like this, but you kind of do want to make light out of situations like this. I can tell you honestly that there has never been a moment in my life, even the worst moments of my life, where I haven't felt like a quick reprieve and a laugh, a gay old chuckle, if you will. And it's kind of all we have. And when you lose the joie de vivre or the desire for a chuckle is the day that we should all just, give up, because it's kind of all we have. And if you can just escape your current situation for 54 minutes, it's called disassociating. So that is why I'm putting an episode out late, better late than never. But you guys, it's fucking weird. It's, it feels different. It feels heavy. I don't want to be a buzzkill, but everything that's happening in Southern California is so fucking terrible. It's devastating. It's also like oddly beautiful because everyone is really rallying together, and like just the outpouring of resources and support and appreciation and gratitude is very palpable in the city right now. But as someone who's dealt with fires my entire life, I've lived in LA my entire life. I've evacuated many times. Here's another thing that I struggle with. I'm someone that is very lucky. As of right now, I have not been affected, physically affected by these LA fires. And, the grief groupies are out in full force. Okay. They got the email, they put their coats on, and they went to fucking work. The amount of people who are inserting themselves in the victim narrative when they have not personally, they still have their homes. I don't know what that chip is in the brain, but I would like it pretty violently removed, because it is so disgusting. It's diluting and condescending to people who have lost everything. And if you're sitting at home and you don't live in California and you're like, who cares? The millionaires lost their homes. That is so, first of all, you're playing a zero-sum game. You're a fucking loser is what you are. Because if your empathy has contingencies, you're a fucking asshole. And it's also just not true. There are people in the Palisades, Altadena, who bought their homes, 40, 50 years ago. It is their greatest financial asset. And the truth is that they'll probably, there's a large group of people that will never be able to probably even own a home again because of this devastation. It's a complete financial reset. It's a complete life reset. And it's memory. It's so much more than just losing a house. Like last week we had a fire in Hidden Hills and we got the alert that we were probably going to have to go because if it jumps the freeway, as it often does, we know this from the Woolsey fires. I think there was 5 houses in my neighborhood, my old neighborhood, that had burnt down in the Woolsey fires. And we were basically told that our townhome was gone. And I didn't care as much then as I care now because I didn't have a baby. It didn't feel like my home. So to imagine the people that have lived in their homes for 40 plus years where, they had every birthday party, Christmas, Hanukkah, celebration, that the history that a home holds vacant of material things is such a colossal loss. And I can't even get into it because I will start crying, which I do not do on this podcast. So we're just going to, the trachea is contracting. We're going to swallow it down and keep on moving. So last week we thought, that we were going to have to evacuate. It was getting, the winds were crazy, whatever. We're still not out of the woods yet, so I don't want to, put a Kenahara on it or anything, but which is a whole other element to this, is that it has been a week of just unknown, bracing for these winds. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what kind of sick fuck cuckoo pants is going to try to light up a neighborhood. So it's just that unrest that is debilitating. But last week, Andrew's like, we got to pack up the car, and our contractor came over and was like, you got to pack up the car. And I was getting all these calls, and then I got to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do with Gloria. I got to bungee cord her ass to the top of my fucking car. And when you are in that headspace of okay, what's important to me? What do I grab? Now, I would just like to say at the beginning, I'm like, all I need is my baby, my memories, and my safety. First 15 minutes, I'm packing up performatively, I'd like to say, pictures of my mom, my mom's wedding dress, my wedding dress. I grabbed nothing. Andrew was guitars. My father-in-law has been seat belted into the front seat of my car for a week now. I literally have an urn. And I was like, Andrew, just spatially, he was cremated. So it's just a lot of real estate in the car, for it's cremated. It was already kind of it's just going to be, don't make me get into the logistics of cremation. But, riding dirty with an urn for a week has been quite funny because I talk to myself constantly, but now I found myself kind of talking to my father-in-law, which is a whole other thing. I'm like, we got to put on Charlie XCX one more time. I'm sorry, your grandson just loves Sympathy is a Knife remix featuring Ariana Grande. You left too soon. Maybe he'd have more of a musical history. Anyways, so that's fun. As the minutes went on, I started supermarket sweeping my bags and all of that shit. And I was like, what? And the truth is, when I thought about what's important to me, what's important to me is in these walls, the doorknobs. Can we take, I don't want to put salt in an open wound. Also, this has nothing to do with me. I am okay. I'm safe. This is what happens. Everyone inserts themselves as the face, the model of the campaign of catastrophe. And I'm not doing that today. So I just would like to say to all the people that have lost their homes, to all the people that have stepped up and just volunteered, donated without, the ick factor of publicizing on Instagram, which is what I have been doing because I just, you want to share. And when you have a platform, oh my God. Somebody come light my house on fire. When you have a platform, I will never forgive myself for saying that. I'm not in a good headspace, okay? I'm drinking is it called a Recess? Those Recess sodas. By the way, really bad time to start dry January. I made it a week. I made it 8 days. And then last night I had a glass of rosé because it was open and I didn't want it to go bad. So this is... I've been drinking these Recess sodas, the lime citrus, and then I pop it with a little bit of pomegranate juice, 100% pom, and it's quite lovely. It's kind of refreshing. I thought it had CBD in it. It doesn't, but it has magnesium, and I feel like just even 8 days rosé doesn't count. I'm talking no martinis. I had a rosé champagne. It was so good. But I feel like the jawline is coming back. So that's the good news here. Okay. It's called a silver lining. What was I saying? On one hand, you want to share resources for people and, encourage people to show up and help and, all of the things. On the other hand, there is something to be said for just doing shit without public knowledge because it's what you do when you're not on Instagram that fucking counts. If you catch my drift. Now, I had made the firefighters a chili last weekend. I had this gorgeous filet chili. I made so much of it. And I was going to drop it off on Friday. And Heather McMahon and Raymond Padilla came over on Friday to check on me, aka bamboozle me into doing her podcast and make Andrew. I mean, by the way, I was so pissed because Andrew Like, if I need him to do any type of a setup for me, I can't get a fucking Hanukkah bop to save my goddamn life. But Heather comes over and he's like, oh, yeah, anything you need? Do you need a water? Is the sound okay? And then, like, our sound got fucked up because I didn't have the mics right, whatever. He's like, I'll go through and edit it for her. And I was like, fuck you. Are you kidding me? So things are tense. What was the point of that? Oh, Heather looks at me and she's like, these guys have been fighting fires for days and days. You think they want a hot chili from a crock pot? You're going to serve them up a steaming hot bowl of chili? What about something refreshing? A caprese pasta salad, donuts, cookies, tiramisu, something like a lemon sorbet, something light. And I was like, oh, fuck, you're so right. So I opted for a breakfast route instead. We did like some, coffees, donuts, and then I did like Gatorades, Red Bulls, waters, beef jerky, stuff that was requested. But I just, the filet chili was an oversight. I just felt like a down-home bitch just slinging bowls of chili at my local fire station was just so quintessentially me, Maybe while playing Charlie XCX Sympathy is a Knife remix featuring Ariana Grande, which I have played just today alone about 37 times. Clyde, oh my God, he's so my kid. I have some updates about him too. Like this fucking guy, Al-Qaeda. Okay, I love him so much. I want to live in his folds. You don't even know. Like, I can't even say it on microphone, except I totally can, and I will play this at his bar mitzvah. I cannot do it with him. I want to take his eyelashes out one by one and sprinkle them like on a frozen yogurt, on a Pinkberry frozen yogurt. I want to eat his fucking hair, okay? I want to motorboat him for all of eternity. He is so fucking cute, but he is so fucking annoying. And he goes, ah! And then I put on Sympathy's a Knife remix featuring Ariana Grande, and it's like that opening synth, and he immediately stops crying and smiling and twerking. Here is my truth about my son that I've been safeguarding until I had a real grapple on the situation. So Clyde is 17 months and he talks a little bit, but like not like I kind of expected he was my son, that he was going to have like a microphone and be my co-host by like 14 months, like speaking, multiple languages, whatever. But he wasn't like talking as much as I wanted him to. So I took him to a speech therapist and I was like, he screams at me a lot. He throws things at me a lot. They're like, he's too young. There's not, not major reason for concern, but like obviously happy to work with him and take my money, bleed me dry. So, every week I'm like, is everything okay? What do you think? Neurologically, are we good? Are we not good? Like, I just need to know what I'm in for because I'm not really a patient person. I'm a little bit of a hands-off mother. I just want to know what I'm working with. They're like, he's absolutely fine. He's just lazy and demanding. And I was like, interesting. Also, Clyde is a speed crawler. If you shut your eyes and you count to 3, he will be in a different country. He is like he crawls at like 85 miles per hour. But as far as walking, he's not very interested. Before he became such a fast crawler, he would stand, he would take a couple steps, he'd cruise, whatever. Ever since he became a really fast crawler, his interest in walking has been slim to none, okay? So I take him to an OT, a PT. This was all today, or the last 2 days. An OT, a PT, and a chiropractor, and his pediatrician. And I'm like, is everything okay with his ligaments, his core strength? Does he have a wonky foot? Like, what's happening? Asking all the neurotic, manic questions. Every single medical professional has looked at me and said that he's 100% fine and that he's just incredibly stubborn and he doesn't want to do anything that's slightly laborious or inconvenient for him. So therefore, if he can do less physical exertion with the same result, he's always going to choose that. So, I mean, basically, having medical professionals tell you that your son is a lazy fuck is, it's eye-opening. It's making me reflect on my own, genetic build, if you will, because I relate to him so hard. And if you're a fucking dumb cunt that's going to DM me, well, actually, maybe, or with some doomsday tips or tricks, you don't, or I won't share anything. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why women don't share with each other, okay? It's because of you fucking bitches. There's always one bitch in a bunch that ruins it for the rest of us. Don't do it. I will fuck you up. You got me? Thank you. So that's been fun. It was kind of like he didn't want to crawl for a very long time. And then I just put one of his like little cookies, his fake little cookies that I make on the other side of the playroom. And then he just instantly crawled. So yeah. And then the physical therapist just like put another one of his snacks on and then he just instantly started taking. I was like, okay. Is there a cure for laziness? Is there a doctor that can help me with that? Because we need a family plan, or really just for me and Clyde, a package deal, if you will. But anyways, Sympathy is a Knife remix featuring Ariana Grande. I have to play it on loop. Otherwise he throws things at me. So, that's where we're at. As the queen of rosacea, the winter months are not for me. I can't share like half of the pictures I took in London because my cheeks are bright red. Clyde kept mistaking me for Santa Claus. I realized my regular products weren't cutting it and that I needed expert help. Feeling confident in your skin starts with getting expert care. That's why we are so excited to partner with Apostrophe. Whether you're dealing with acne, signs of aging, or dark spots, Apostrophe helps you get access to the right treatments for your skin. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne and dermatology treatment for your unique skin. Through Apostrophe, you can get access to oral and topical medications that use clinically proven ingredients to help clear acne. All you have to do is fill out an online consultation about your skin goals, medical history. Then you take a few selfies of your skin and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan just for you. Apostrophe offers access to prescription treatments for all types of acne, hormonal acne, facial acne, back, chest, butt acne, basically anything. So it's such a great product. I actually use this myself. I showed them kind of like the little bumps I was getting and they just sent something right over and we love it. We have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/Bible when you use our code Bible. That's a savings of $15. This code is only available to our listeners. Get started. Go to apostrophe.com/Bible and click Get Started. Then use the code Bible at sign up and you're going to get your first visit for only $5. Thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode. Resolutions aren't really my thing, but I have been on a healthy eating habits kick, and Hero Bread has been a game changer for me. If you've told me that I could cut carbs while still eating all the bread I wanted, I wouldn't have believed it. But with Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the good breads that we all know and love. True story, last night I made Clyde a chicken quesadilla with the Hero tortillas. They were so good. And by making Clyde a quesadilla, I definitely ate 75% of it. It's just so easy. It's such like an easy transition. It doesn't taste any different. It's just better for you. No compromises, just flavor, ultra low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and high in fiber. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code Jackie at checkout. That is Jackie at HERO.co. Get the tortillas. You're welcome. Okay, we're back. I had to take a brief intermission because basically I was trying to safeguard this just for my own safety, but he'll be home by the time this comes out. On top of all of these things, these external factors, Leo just fell in the pool because he's blind. Clyde screams bloody murder unless we're listening to Charlie XCX or I'm basically breastfeeding him. And we're amidst a, national weather disaster catastrophe. And Andrew's in Nashville. So his studio is basically a stone's throw from the fire line. They have not had power there or access for over a week now. And he is on a deadline. So he had to fly to Nashville to finish this album. And like the truth of the matter is like, could he have stayed home? Yes. Would that benefit me? I'm not entirely sure. She's not great in a panicked situation. And by her, I mean him, not me. I stay relatively cool, calm, and collected. I mean, granted, I was ready to frisbee the Janori China into the pool and, rip my own hair out, but that's fine. Now I'm not doing so well. He comes home tomorrow, which is today. And the resentment that has been building brick by brick, day by day, is so excruciating. Like, I'm so mad at him, and I know I can't be because he's really just very apologetic. And he's like, if you need me, I'll get on the next flight. But then, like, I need him to be there working so that, like, one day I can fuck all the way off. And, it's just, wait, we have to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You guys, Brittany Bateman, whatever her fucking name is, Brittany with an I, is one of the greatest stars of our time. She is transfixing her in Mexico with those two little fucking braids, okay? And her little cover up, recording the girls in the Sprinter van, and Meredith Marks losing her goddamn mind. That is cinema. We don't deserve this triumph on our television. Dissimilarly, Real Housewives in New York, I know we've covered it, but we're going to cover it just one more time. It is the most disappointing element of my entire life is Real Housewives of New York. Like, these women have failed me. And on paper, like Sai, Uba, Jenna Lyons, like low-key stars. Like, I'm interested in Jenna Lyons. I'm interested in Sai. I'm interested in Uba. The rest I could do without, like, nothing like really titillates me about them. But Brynn Whitfield, I feel almost bad even jumping on the bandwagon here because TikTok's going bye-bye, but the TikToks I'm being served right now are just ruthless towards Brynn. I can't really like psychologically dissect what it is that is so deeply triggering to the audience about Brynn. I think it's a couple things. I think, first of all, she is self-producing. She's editing herself. She's playing a role, and it's a role that, like, we don't want or we don't need. And even if that is her authentic personality, we don't need it on our televisions. It's this contrived, instigative, surly, shock jock, but nothing really lands, queer baiting. Like, it's so many different things that if it was just one, we could probably get over it. But because there's so many different varietals that we have to tolerate, it's insufferable. And it's all packaged in this undigestible, in your face, like, something about it is just like, no. It makes me like Rebecca Minkoff, which is wild. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Rebecca Minkoff is a delight and a treasure, but like on television, we don't need Rebecca Minkoff on television. Nobody does. And I say to the casting department at Bravo, pass the baton, pro bono services. I'm ready for you because the chemistry, there's something off and off-putting, therefore off-putting to the viewers. And it's just such a letdown. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Oh my God. Mary, Lisa, they're all individual. Whitney Rose, I could do without, and her bath bombs. But she adds something. I don't know what it is. Is it high-pitched vocal fry and polyblend clothing with floating shelves? Yes, perhaps that's what she's bringing to the table, but it's something. You know what I mean? Brittany Bateman recording them and them all freaking the fuck out when they have a camera crew in the bus is like layers on layers. It's top tier shit. Brittany changing her story 14 times. I mean, unfucking believable. What I want to discuss is their reunion looks, okay? Because I am befuddled and upset about it. First of all, I have to go in. There's two things that will keep me up for the remainder of my days, besides the potential wildfires in my backyard. Okay. Meredith Marks Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion outfit sent a chill down my spine, and not in a good way. She is wearing, talk about bat mitzvah culture. She must listen to this podcast. In a world of Anya Taylor-Joy Pashmina Gate, Meredith Marks is serving Inland Empire Mother of the Bride at a local community center. Is it a shrug? Is it a fur shrug? And did she go to Macy's for the burgundy Adriana Papel? It's aging. Meredith Marks is fucking gorgeous, by the way. So don't make me do the caveat thing, but I'm going to do the caveat thing. Meredith Marks is so breathtaking. Like, her face is gorgeous. Beautiful. The outfit is aging. It makes no sense to me. It makes me upset. It's good to verbalize feelings. It makes me angry, it makes me anxious, and it blows my mind. It makes me not trust her, if we're being totally honest. Similarly, and this is a hot/lukewarm take, Lisa Barlow posted herself in her reunion look, and she said something to the degree of, if you know, you know, or if you get it, you get it. Now, I subscribe to this mentality a lot because, you know, do I look like a camp counselor? Yes, I do. Do I look like a substitute teacher, like hitting a Legree class today? Yes, I do. But I very much understand. I have the complexity, the aesthetic complexity to understand fashion and like irony, la 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 la, irony. Like I get it. I get what's going on. I get a vision. Putting on an Hervé Leger bandage dress is not an if you know, you know mental. Like, that's not executing. It is a Boca Raton. Once again, I'm going back to bat mitzvah culture. It is a Boca Raton slutty mother of the bat mitzvah type of a look. Okay. It's Ramona Singer adjacent. Hervé Leger isn't out enough to then like come back and be cool. Like, it's not ironic. It's not vintage. It's still very much with us at Bloomingdale's. So therefore, there's nothing cool about it. And I would dare say that Lisa Barlow, for me personally, I think has the best style besides like Jenna Lyons, of every Real Housewife franchise, everything. I love how she does like kind of like a cool Celine, like baggy trouser. Like, I always think she looks cool. 97% of the time. I think she fucks up at reunions. And I think that Lisa Barlow's sweet spot is very much so like street style. And it doesn't necessarily translate to reunion style because she always goes for something that looks like it's from Revolve or Bloomingdale's. And I mean that as a motherfucking insult. If you know, you know. Okay, do not skip through this ad. I'm telling you, like, bitch to bitch, do not skip through this ad. So I have bullied yet another sponsor. I have all the emails to prove it. You know, at the beginning of motherhood, I was like so excited. I'm like making purees and like pancakes and meals and meatballs. And then like something happened about 6 months ago. I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I can't keep him fed. I can't keep sneaking vegetables. Like, I need something that I can whip up quickly because when Clyde gets hungry, you know, he screams like a monster until he is fed. And sometimes you just don't have that time. But then it's like, okay, ordering food for him. Like, I want it to be healthy. I want it to be nutritious. Like, I need a brand I can trust. So I found Little Spoon, paid retail for months and months and months and months, bullied them to sponsor this podcast because I love this company so much. I started with their baby blends when Clyde first started eating food. And I just loved, like, they were like pitaya, like all like this bougie, healthy stuff that like I was just not going to make. And knowing that what you're feeding your baby is like clean and healthy is just, it's worth every penny. Little Spoon is a one-stop shop for healthy, easy mealtime and snack time for your baby, toddler, and big kid. It is delivered right to your door. Their goal is to keep your kid healthy and, you know, just make everything so easy. So like I said, I started with the baby blends. I now like serve him the dinners basically and the breakfast like every single day. He loves it. They also have great snacks. Clyde is obsessed with these oat bars. Like I can't get enough, and I can't say enough amazing things about this company and these products. Their products are junk-free, organic. They're thoughtfully sourced. They test their baby blends for like 400 plus contaminants, including heavy metals. It's just the best company. Simplify your kiddos' mealtime with 30% off your first order. Go to littlespoon.com/Bible and enter our code Bible at checkout to get 30% off your first Little Spoon order. Please go do this for your kids and thank me later. It's January and everyone's trying to reinvent themselves like a real housewife hosting a new beginnings party. It's the time of year we all think about, fitness and secretly know that we're not really going to be into it past February, but whether you're walking to the gym or walking to brunch with the girlies, you need G-Defy shoes. These are not your basic kicks. G-Defy's patented VersoShock technology delivers comfort, support, and total foot pampering. Whether you're hitting the gym, running errands, or making a dramatic exit, these shoes have your back and your feet, okay? You have to try them. If you have any back pain, if you're going to Disneyland with the kiddos, you need arch support, you're welcome. Because you're a bitch Bible babe, you get 50% off your entire order. Just go to gdefy.com, GDEFY.com, and use code BITCH at checkout for 50% off your entire order. I get what Bronwyn is trying to do. She's wearing I think it's a Carolina Herrera, one of a kind. Carly Kloss wore it to the Met Ball. Cool. Listen, at least with Bronwyn, she's committed. You know what I mean? I don't have to understand everything. I don't get the Moschino. I don't get any of that stuff. It's just, I always want to look cute. So I'm not dressing up as a hot dog. I'm not wearing a couture hot dog outfit because I'm not campy, but if that's you, sure, I understand. You're expressing yourself. Do I think it's a little 5150 cry for help? Absolutely. But that's okay. When I used to walk around with a Sahankin extension and a chunky highlight, bleached to the fucking gods, I was giving 5150 energy too, and rightfully so. That was my form of expressionism. When I did hair tinsel in 2012, I would say, Adrienne Maloof hair crystal, and then went as so far as to get a beaded, a Swarovski crystal, beaded strand rat tail. I was going through a hard time. I had inner turmoil. I think everyone with a pulse and a retina, negotiable, knew that I was going through a rough time because I had a fucking crystal rat tail. Rat. Oh, my Lord and Savior Jesus Cristo. How could I forget Angie? Angie looks fucking good. Love Angie's look. I don't know who she's wearing Oscar de la Renta. I fucked this up, okay? She's wearing a Jimmy Choo shoe. She's wearing a Swarovski necklace. I'd go back to the drawing board on that one. You've already committed so hard. You're wearing a $10,000 Oscar de la Renta dress, and then you're going to put on a Swarovski crystal necklace. If I could just be a cunt, we don't need it. Okay. Oh, God. Brooks. Oh, no. Okay, Brooks styled Meredith. Dress, shoes, and stylist Brooks Marks. It's mentioned on the BravoTV.com website. The jewelry is her own. And she says that my dress and shoes were inspired by my Stardust jewelry collection, was modeled after the stars in the sky at night in Park City. And her look was designed by Brooks. Brooks, love you like a sister. It's Jackie. This is giving Chico's with an orthopedic heel. It's Chico's, it's Windsor Fashions meets geriatric. Oh man, it's so bad. The color is fine. The weird jewel encrusting, the rouging, it's absolutely terrible. Bronwyn is in Carolina Herrera. She's wearing a Valentino shoe. I think she looks great. Whitney Rose with the rose on her upper back. This is what I talk about, Revolve gone wrong. This is a Revolve girly and not in a good way. She's wearing this red strapless, thigh high slit. Let's see who makes the shoes. Renee Cavavia. You know, those like wrap crystal sandals. I don't fuck with those. They're not for me. She's wearing Prism and Nicole Rose jewelry, and the dress, like, it's fine, but the exposed little prickly thorn rose on her upper back, so she wore something that would show it off. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Let's talk about the most important star in the room, which would be Brittany Bateman. Is her name Brittany Bateman? Yeah. Brittany with an I. She's wearing a Halpern dress. This is what a Macy's clearance rack looks like. The hair is still high body count hair, okay? It's lacking the high body count volume, but the length is high body count. Like this is what I want for her. I want to switch up her lip shade to something like a little lighter with less of a liner. I would like to just soften the makeup. She's a very pretty girl, you know, and we need to do a harsh chop to the hair, a harsh chop. The dress is disgusting. It's disgusting. The shoes are disgusting. Why are we like, something about this feels so good. I have a lot of like repressed energy right now because I'm just a woman on the verge. Also, wait, I wasn't going to share this because it feels just a little like too vitriolic to share on a podcast where I'm trying to spread fucking joy and not embers. Spread joy, not embers. That's the title of this week's episode. Thank you very much. It's probably tone deaf and insensitive, but it is kind of funny. And by funny, I mean not funny. We're just trying to heal and process. Okay. What was I saying? Okay. So I took Clyde to the farmer's market on Sunday. You know, we're trying to like maintain some shrivel of routine and normalcy while I am internally corroding. So we go to the farmer's market. I get him his sourdough bread and his croissant. And I'm perusing Mother of the Year, single mom that works 2 jobs, loves her kids, and literally never stops. And I hear this man walking just behind me, speaking very loudly on his cell phone. And my nickname as a child was Big Ears because I'm listening to everyone's conversations. It's what keeps me entertained, quite frankly. So I'm pushing my stroller, doing my things, and I hear him say, I just waited in line for 15 minutes for a dozen eggs. It's a line wrapped around the block, and the eggs cost $12 They couldn't bring one more person. I've been waiting in line in the sun. And I'm like, ugh, this dumb bitch. Entire cities are burning down. Like, this is very active fire time. You know what I mean? Like, homes are crumbling, burning, people are dying, pets are displaced. Like this is what's going on in the state of the world right now, okay? And we're all cosplaying like farmers market normalcy because we're all so freaked out, and you're very loudly, vocally complaining that you had to wait in line to get your overpriced farmer's market fresh fucking eggs so that you can go make yourself an omelet that I hope you add enough cheese to that it puts you into fucking cardiac arrest, okay? And high blood pressure. That's what I hope for this fucking man, okay? Anyway, so he's complaining about his fucking eggs that he gets to go cook in his fucking kitchen that didn't fucking burn down like a piece of shit. Then he says, so I'm already very upset. Okay, my rosacea is already at a fucking 10, listening to this man blatantly complain during these trying times. Then he says, these fucking, oh God, okay. He says, it's hard to even say out loud. I'm going to whisper it because it's so disgusting. He goes, these fucking Mexicans. And I stopped dead in my tracks. My mouth was agape. I looked around to see if anybody anywhere was around me and heard this. Luckily, there was like 5 other women. I looked around and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy is completely oblivious, doesn't see like the aftershock of what he just said and how upsetting it is to all these people. By the way, these people who show up to the fucking farmer's market to supply like organic, like healthy foods for us and our families. Okay. And all these people are looking around like other bystanders looking at him like, what the fuck? He's so oblivious. He like pops into a coffee shop. Okay. And in that moment, anytime like I'm around a situation like that, I go into fight or flight mode, and I, guess which one I usually pick. It's always fight. Remember when I called the woman a cunt at a Gelson's? Yeah, we all do. So I'm so like, my bandwidth had just been so exceeded at that point that I didn't even like know how to process what had just happened. And I was so emotionally like overstimulated and exerted that I just was like, I don't even have the bandwidth to go up and like rip him a new asshole. So instead I'm looking around, I'm like, this piece of shit. Of course it's a crusty, overprivileged white dude, okay, that has liver spotted hands. I wanted to club him. I wanted to take my fucking sourdough baguette and I wanted to beat the living shit out of him, but I didn't, okay, because I'm evolved and I'm not trying to create more chaos in the universe. I want my energy to be good. My son is there. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I'm pacing, I do probably 6.5 laps around the farmer's market. Now I'm done shopping at this point, but I'm so deeply I'm personally deeply offended by what he said for a myriad of reasons that I don't even need to explain, because if you know, you know. I find that to be, first of all, it's racist and disgusting, and I can't even, I'm not going to get into it because I'll fucking freak out again. I will headbutt a stranger. So I'm doing my laps. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. You know what? Like, that's his journey. He's a terrible person. His life will reflect it. Karma's a bitch. Shoulda known better. JoJo C was going to come out with her fucking knee pads and whip her pony back and forth. But then I'm like, you know what? See something, say something. And what kind of example would I really be giving to my son if I don't stand up in the storm for justice? You know what I mean? So did I need to go get a coffee? Absolutely not. I knew he was still in there because I was basically patrolling, sweating, okay, like dry heaving and sweating and just like trying to find like my Ujjayi inner peace. And I just, you know what? It wasn't the time for that. So I chose violence. And after working up a sweat, a rosacea flare-up, and a cute little speech, I pop into that fucking coffee shop, okay? I'm ready to motherfucking rumble. Now, picking a fight with a stranger after problematic behavior with like a 30-minute intermission is difficult to do, because if you're in the heat of the moment, you could instantly look at them and be like, fuck you, or something like that. You fucking piece of shit. You can react, that's warranted. But when someone is slow sipping a latte and 30 minutes has gone by and you've worked up this, prophetic speech, a monologue, how to present it to said problematic, overprivileged, racist white man is quite difficult. So I go in, and I'm like, ready. And I'm like, can I get a matcha latte, please? I tip 35%, not 40, 35%. It was a takeaway latte, but I thought I'm a cause a scene in this bitch. You know what I mean? So I got to up an extra 10% tip here. And I make my way towards his table and I get down low. I am a star. No one can ever tell me differently. This is 100% true. I get down low. My throat's closing up because I'm nervous now. And I say, "You're disgusting," which was not part of my speech, but I needed to meet cute. So it felt like the right thing to say. I wanted to say, "Excuse me, sir." But when I got down low and I saw his pasty, just jaundice adjacent, like fleshy little carcass skin, something took over my body. And instead of me saying, "Excuse me, sir," I said, "You're disgusting." Okay. "You're disgusting." But it was more like this. It was, "You're disgusting." And he looks up like shocked, color drained from his face. Okay. Which is hard to do because he's borderline translucent. And he goes, "Excuse me?" And I say, I'm low and I'm like borderline close to his face. I said, "We are amidst a catastrophe, okay? And you are an ignorant, myopic, piece of shit. And he's like, he just said, excuse me twice. Like he was so taken off guard, which was amazing. And I said, you, with a point right in the finger, I said, you should be ashamed of yourself. And then I walked away. No context. No, like didn't even like allude back to what he had previously said on a phone call that I was listening in on. I gave no context. Okay. And then I shoved Clyde out the door, left my latte on the fucking table and pieced the fuck out. And the best part is that right when I was done, Clyde clapped. And it was like, I didn't scream. So it wasn't a full scene. It was like a hushed whisper with passion. And right after I said, you should be ashamed of yourself, like that, with a little bit of growl, Clyde just started clapping. And then we left. And that's what I did on Sunday. I thought about going back and be like, I hope your house catches on fire. But I think that would be in poor taste. So I didn't. I just kept it moving. But Altercations at Farmer's Market. It's a new segment. As a fluctuating goddess, okay, one thing that I have been really vigilant about in 2025 is taking my Seed DS-01 Daily Symbiotic, and it has helped me so much with bloating. I have been so bloated for so long, and like nobody told me, and I took Seed so many years ago. I totally just was like off my game. I started taking the Seed DS-01 Daily Symbiotic, and honestly, it is such a game changer. It is formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains to support whole body benefits, including gut health, skin health, heart health, immune health, gut barrier integrity, gut microbial balance, and micronutrient synthesis in just 2 capsules a day. DS-01 is shown to increase good gut bacteria by over 400%. Okay. Also, ever since I started taking it, I'm not joking. Everyone's like, your skin looks amazing. Your skin, I mean, my skin always looks amazing, but it really looks amazing. And I swear it is because of the Seed Symbiotic. It is part of my routine. I've been taking it every single morning, and I really, really noticed the difference, and I highly encourage you try it. It's a new year, so have a new routine that helps you by going to seed.com/Jackie and use code 25Jackie to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/Jackie, code 25Jackie. Oh my God, I love this sponsor too. Wow, it is Christmas morning over here. Raising a family today feels like navigating a maze of unhealthy options. Honestly, less of a maze and more of a minefield between like the hidden sugars and the artificial ingredients and dyes and misleading labels. It is hard to know what's actually good for our kids. And like, I'm not great at reading, so that's why I love Thrive Market. It's like having a convenient personal guide to healthier living for my entire family. Thrive Market makes it simple to find trusted, family-friendly brands without spending hours in the grocery store. From snacks and school lunches to pantry staples, everything they offer is 100% non-GMO. And with their on-site filters, you can shop based on what matters most to your family, whether it's low sugar, gluten-free, organic, high protein. You get to filter everything just like you're shopping for clothes, but you're shopping for food. And I just love it. I use the organic filter to make sure that what I'm feeding Clyde is the best, mother of the year. My absolute favorite feature is the Healthy Swap scanner in the Thrive Market app. So here's how it works. You scan a product you're used to buying, and it instantly recommends something cleaner, healthier, an alternative, if you will. This has been such a game changer in the Schimmel-Haas household. We've made some great swaps. I'd say my fave is regular microwave popcorn for the lesser evil popcorn. It's just absolutely delish, okay? Ready for a junk-free start to 2025? Head to thrivemarket.com/bitchbible and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That is THRIVE market.com/bitchbible, thrivemarket.com/bitchbible. Homes.com knows that when it comes to home shopping, it's never just about the house or condo. It's about the home. And what makes a home is more than just the house or property. It's location and neighborhood. If you have kids, it's also schools, nearby parks, and transportation options. That's why Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth information they need to find the right home. And when I say in-depth, I'm talking deep. Each listing features comprehensive information about the neighborhood, complete with a video guide. They also have details about local schools with test scores, state rankings, and student-to-teacher ratio. They even have an agent directory with sales history of each agent. So when it comes to finding a home, not just a house, this is everything you need to know all in one place. Homes.com. We've done your homework. Allegedly, TikTok is being banned next week. You know who doesn't give 1/18 of a fuck about this? Your girl. You know why? Because I've never actively participated in TikTok. I myself have never even uploaded a video to TikTok, okay? I don't even know my login information. So here is a lesson to all that are listening. Do not invest time into a portal/platform, the P word, that you do not own your IP. That's intellectual property. I have been saying this since the dawn of podcasting 11 years ago. Financially and just business strategy wise, to put your time into any type of a platform, my throat's closing up from my altercation story, where you do not walk with your, for lack of better words, content is fucking stupid, okay? It's very, very stupid. You have no catalog of your work. You have no leverage. So do not invest your time into any platform where you do not own your fucking IP, okay? If you're a content creator wannabe, first of all, get a real job, go to school. This is fleeting. Secondly, just remember that Aunt Jackie told you this many, many years ago. You know how I learned this the hard way? I don't know, being deleted from Instagram thrice pretty early on. So I never carried much weight into the financial elements of the tickety talks. I never got it. It's short-lived. It's a shelf life. And I don't give a fuck about TikTok going bye-bye. Everyone's freaking out. I'm not a TikTok girl. I'm not spending, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'll do a Reels scroll. Everyone's like, I've never spent 13 seconds on Reels. I do. I don't like what I see, but I'm up on it. I'm all up on it. This is also a lukewarm take. On one hand, I understand the right to spread information, freedom of speech, blah, blah, blah. There is a pendulum swing to all of that where you are being served misinformation via TikTok. Okay. Mixing detergent tabs with Malibu rum and drinking it for, a TikTok virality challenge. There's I think there's more bad than good. And freedom of speech, hi, ding, 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 get a microphone. I don't know. I just don't think, I don't like the rebranding of TikTok as a freedom of speech thing. I think overall, social media in general is pretty toxic and TikTok is no better. So if they want to ban it, bye birdie. I don't care. Speaking of bye birdies, oh my God, somebody sent me an article and they were like, can you please share? And I'm like, I think you got the wrong person. The wildfires have affected birds more than physically, more than death count, more than any other species, because all the displaced animals, mountain lions, coyotes, they're feeding off of birds. So that's what we call a shimmel silver lining. Someone sent that to me earnestly, being like, please share. We need to spread the word. I'm like, yeah, you just give me a shrivel of joy. So one less bird in the sky. Nobody's going to like that. Not one person is going to like that. But, they're really scary. And what if they are drones? Okay. What if pigeons are spies? Have you read those articles? Yeah. Dior bags, pigeons. Think about it. So if TikTok goes bye-bye, I just totally don't care. But the feminists are going to lose their mind. And with one final push, what I've been seeing all over TikTok, the last of the feminist movements via TikTok, which have just been so effective, so effective. I love watching a bitch preach self-care while showing us her six pack and setting up a tripod and a fucking ring light and mixing her matcha and lighting a candle and telling us to love ourselves and connect. It's why don't you fucking connect? Why don't you dim the fucking lights? I'm not taking advice from you, okay? Broken stranger. But let's just keep pushing that toxic positivity, you fucking idiots. The fact that people can't see themselves, like, I know that I'm a monster. I know. I got it. Like, there's nothing anyone could say to me feedback-wise that I wouldn't, like, on some degree understand. I still love her. That's the beauty of the situation. So, you know, when you live in that space, untouchable. And I would never set up a ring light and tell it another bitch to love themselves, because that's no TikTok is going to encourage you to fucking do that. What was I saying? Oh, the feminist movement via TikTok. So now what we are embracing for the final hurrah is full bush positivity. Okay. There's a lot of propaganda on embracing the bush. And I would also, and Jackie would also like to tell you that you shouldn't, because if we've learned nothing from these wildfires, it's that excess foliage leads to disaster. Keep it clean, keep it right, keep it coiffed. Okay, we don't need a brush fire in your labia. We need some form of a topiary, architectural landscaping situation. We're not bringing back the full bush. There are elements of body hair that are great for trapping bacteria. I don't need a Woolsey fire level, you know, system on your vagina, on your vagina. No, we don't need to be bare anymore. I think that's weird. I find that to be very, I don't know what the psychology is behind that. We don't need to be bare, but we need minimal roughage, and it needs to be clean. It needs to be kept. This doesn't make you anti-feminist because you don't want a big ol' fucking bush, Brittany with an I. Get it together. This isn't about feminism. This is about laziness and being disgusting. No. If you're eating in bed and you sleep in the nude, do you want to have crumbs in your bush? I don't like excess facial hair. I don't like when I see a dude with like a big burly beard, and then imagine a beard on a bush, beard on a bush, beard on a bush. Talk about wildfires, beard on a bush. No. Well, on that note, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so sorry this was late, you know, better late than never. And I love you, and I will talk to you next week. Everyone stay safe. Do what you can. Don't be an asshole. Or if you are an asshole, just be a funny one. Spread joy. Love you. Goodbye.